And welcome back to the Anime Den. And again we have another one of those wonderful Griffon Enterprise products. It's another Ikki Tousen. It's a Sonsaku Hakafu 1:7 scale statuette. And of course this is going to be one of those interesting reviews, because I can see straight from looking inside the box that there is something that some people don't like me to talk about. So if you're a little bit of a prude, or you just don't like ecchi, or the words tits tend to offend you, now would be a good time to go find one of our other videos. We'll wait. There you go, any one of those videos at the side there, just pick one. And there you go. For the rest of you, of course, strap yourselves in, grab a tube stock and lube up, because we're about to look at a Sonsaku Hakafu Ikki Tousen statue. Now, one of the first things about this statue is, of course, this is a big box. This is huge. This, it would be a good, it'd have to be a little over 12 inches tall. And this is something that's a bit of a departure, just to give you an idea of scale. It's a big box. So it gives you an idea of scale. This is a big statue, and it's a real departure for Griffon Enterprises and their Ikki Tousen range, because normally their boxes are quite small, and if you give me a moment I'll just get a box for comparison. So there's a comparison. That's a Kana Unchao box. That was actually my bones, not my camera. So you can already see that this is nearly twice the size almost of a standard Griffon Enterprise box. But like with all Griffon Enterprise boxes, the box itself is again merely the vessel of what's inside, and it really doesn't have anything special. It's not the sort of box that you're going to keep simply for its artwork. It gives you an idea of what's in there, but not much else. There's nothing special. And again, it's one of those interesting things. I think I pointed out in another video. In Japan, it's rated for ages over 18. In the West, it's of course ages 15 plus. Which just means, oh, and hey, you gotta love this, it's for over the age of 15 years, but small parts, not for children under 3 years of age. So doesn't that confuse the living life out of you? That's right, in Japan you have to be over 18, in Australia you have to be over 15, but just keep it away from your 3-year-old brother. So give us a moment, we'll pop this puppy out of the box and we'll have a look. And now we have Sonsaku out of the box. And it's actually a very impressive statue. What adds the height is, of course, this beautiful basing. I'll see if I can get her up and see so you can see it. Is this here? This beautiful bit of basing. I don't know how well the light's working in here today, because I don't know if you can see it. Because the t-shirt itself is given the wet effect. So the t-shirt literally clings to her and gives you the impression that, of course, she's been in water. And of course, as always, the Griffon guys have got it right. They just don't miss a beat. One of the cool parts about this statue is, of course, it does come with a base. It has that sort of very generic base. I mean, they always put the character's name on it, but it is still a very generic base. And it has the keyway tabs for putting, obviously, the figure down on the base. But it actually stands quite well without it. So if you've, like me, you've got a cabinet full of figurines and you can't really range a room in to put a base, well then she stands quite well without the base. And of course the facial details and everything, again, it's just perfect. Again, I don't know how the lighting's working here today. It seems to be somewhat grainy on my camera, but very nice facial features. And of course, like everything from Griffon Enterprise, and that's why I sort of said at the start of the video, delve away if you're a bit bit of a prude, is of course these figures do tend to become naked at times. One of the big disappointments I actually have with this is when I first got it out of the box is that traditionally Griffon would make the clothing themselves out of a rubbery sort of latexy material, so you could literally take the clothing off and you'd sort of maybe pull the head off and you'd take bits of the clothing off and you could then strip them naked that way. What they've done this time around, and it is a bit of a disappointment, they've literally just sent a naked torso, which is, it's a little bit disappointing. It's a little bit on the cheaped out side, sort of, instead of giving us the entertainment and joy of actually pulling, of doing what we do, they've cheaped it out. I mean, it does make it a lot easier if you want to do a quick conversion. If mum and dad are coming into your bedroom, you want to quickly turn Sonsaku Hakafu back into, a respectable statue that they're not going to get too bent out of shape about, then, it's probably not such a bad deal. And of course, as always, these conversions are very easily done. Sonsaku's head, of course, just probably easiest to go this way. So you just take off the base, off the waist. The skirt literally is, again, just a singular. It's actually a three-piece skirt, which is really odd, because there's your skirt, there's your midriff, and there's, of course, Sonsaku. Then you could obviously take her head off. It's almost like a Frankenstein operation. You could literally butcher Sonsaku to pieces. Take her arms off, and you're left with, of course, that. And we would assume that, of course, this all sticks back together, as you probably won't need it for the next part of the project, which is, of course, merely to replicate it all back together again. So arms, head, and now we have a topless panties Sonsaku Hakafu, which seems funny because they've left a little bit of sleeve on either arm to sort of indicate maybe her clothing had been blown off or something, but it is what it is. It's another one of those Ikki Tousen boob statues. And of course it's that nice sort of hard PVC plastic. I dare say that everything is firm when you sort of touch it. Even this is probably nice though. This has got a bit of playability in it, so that softer plastic, so you could, if you were accidentally to bump it or drop it, it may not, shear to pieces. But the statue probably all up would come to about 12 inches tall once fully assembled and put on display. So that is our Sonsaku Hakafu Ikki Tousen Dragon Destiny DVD cover, 12-inch statue. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.